What's up, bro? Why so formal?
Well,
it's the occasion.
I figure it's going to be New Year's in a few days, and I like dress up, and I figured this would be a kind of a cool little swanky outfit, something sleek, something stylish.
Is that a blue suit with a black tie?
It's a blue sports coat. I'm wearing gym shorts.
Okay.
So
Okay. Here's the thing, though. Fuck you, because you send us this message. Hey, I'll probably be wearing a shirt and tie. By the way, no context around it. Nothing. I know this is probably technically a New Year's show, but in this era, people don't get dressed up all snazzy like for New Year's. So if you had just said, "Hey, we should dress up for New Year's," I'm going to be wearing a shirt and tie. I probably would have found a sport jacket myself. I dressed up for Christmas last week. If we're going to do dress up time, state your intentions, sir. Okay? Because now you get to be the sharp dressed man on the show, and I get to wear my same plain Jane black bullshit that I always do. And then Alan's got his Kwanzaa hat on, obviously, with his Mac Miller shirt.
Yes, harvest time in Africa. Kwanzaa.
And so I'm trying to figure out if we're the assholes, if you're the asshole, but I'm pointing at you. I'm saying you're the asshole. You invited everybody to a party and then didn't tell them how to dress, and that's not nice.
You're like, hey guys, it's a costume party. And we're like, oh, you didn't say anything. Just gently alluded to that you might be dressing a certain way, but not that we should all dress a certain way.
I mean, we could use this as like a Stevie Janowski Eastbound and Down moment where I could just get down to nothing, to shirtless. You thinking about that?
I think we can see how the show goes.
I got a question, really. Let's think this is the driving factor. How hairy are them nipples since they've been waxed that way? Does Sarah need to get back in there?
I don't know if she. The kit was purchased mid-COVID because nothing was open. So I don't know if any of that wax or whatever exists anymore. And no, I will not do that. That was COVID. We're trying to gain content, an audience. We were still pretty young at that point. So how are they? They feel good. I don't know. I gave them a little fixing up a couple days ago, as I do about once a week.
Wait, hold on. What kind of fixing up do you do on the nipples?
Well, the nipples get no guard, like around the areola, no guard. Just everything comes off around it. Around the chest, it's like I don't know what the setting is. There's like 6 separate settings. I go about midway through and just kind of get everything and.
You get the chest too, the whole chest.
The whole chest, everything. Chest, stomach, in between, around the stomach. The nipples and the belly button get the same no guard.
Okay. Do you keep a manicured trail to your nethers from your abdomen? Yeah. Or do you get rid of that? Okay. I'm just asking the level of scaping that Wes Mann's.
It's it's progressively gotten. It has to be done more so than even like 10 years ago, and that's a sign of getting older. I guess I'm just getting hairier. But yeah,
ears. Wait till the ears come into play, buddy. That's where I am. I was getting the old head shaved up, and I had a little tilt. And I'm like, what is that? Oh, dude, just a straight caterpillar trying to escape from my fucking brainstem right out the old ear slot. And it's gnarly, and there's like no real good way to get there. I'm going to have to buy a proper tool for it.
And
it's all about the tools, man.
It is. You're going to have to invest some not good money, but I'd say money into some sort
reasonable money. Yeah,
right. Yeah. And it's funny though. Every time I do that, Sarah always asks, "I see you shaved up. Who'd you do that for?" It's like, well, some you, mostly me. Because when I take my shirt off, I don't want to see the fucking Yeti.
Well,
weird. That seems weird.
Yeah, it does seem kind of weird. I mean,
I want to see David Beckham when he takes his shirt off after a game.
Okay. All right. Well, let's pump the brakes. The man puts on a sport coat, and now he's fucking David Beckham. Jesus Christ.
Well, see,
he must be drinking early for New Year's.
As a hairly challenged man, both on top of my head and my body, the only hair that grows like anywhere below my chin and above my waist is the happy trail to my belly button, and then the circular nipple hairs around the outer nipple. So I understand because I will shave around the nipple. I think I'm done shaving around the nipple because I started working out this is where all of my prostate examinations came from. is all the working out and all the eating and all that. So I was like, yeah, I look pretty good. Decided to get rid of that old nipple hair right there. Let's shave her down. And then once it started to come back and grab a hold of my T-shirts while I'm at work and just like yanking one way or the other, you want to talk about some sore ass nipples? No, I'm going full Yeti on the nipples. I'm going to have just 2 black circles on my titties. That's it. I'm done with it.
Sounds awful.
Fair enough. I joked around about that Office episode where the guy's running around worried about nipple chafage, and it's legit. That's real. That's obviously it's funny, but is it to be joked about? Obviously it is, but
yeah, everything's to be joked about.
Yeah,
but nipple,
that's definitely a jokey thing.
The nipple hair, okay, it actually acts as just suspend some reality here for a second and get inside my head. It acts as a lubricant. Okay, I know it's hair, but it's kind of like back in the day when they would have those derbies downhill where you built your own little go-kart, and they would back in the day
Pinewood Derby.
Okay, well there was the Pinewood Derby, the first guy who like set the record for the Pinewood Derby, not the little cars at the Boy Scouts.
No, you're talking about like soapbox.
Yes.
Oh yeah, okay.
The soapbox cars. This first guy, look it up. There's a picture of him, and he actually went out and he bought graphite powder and he rubbed himself and the car down. He probably died of black lung like 3 years later, but like it acted as a lubricant and allowed the air to flow around it better. I believe that the hair on my nipples acts as some sort of lubricant so that my shirt can kind of go back and forth without chafing the nipple. It actually kind of uses the hair to roll side to side.
That's probably true. And hair makes oil, so yeah, that's lubricant.
But I think you've also conditioned yourself because you didn't suffer from this as a child or in your teen years. Now you've kind of become conditioned to it, and it feels feels a little odd.
I'd say it's more rudimentary than that, guys. I think what happens is that you have hair that's perfectly fine, soft, and it doesn't have a sharp edge on it, and then you take a fucking weed whacker to it, and in 12 hours it is a sharp barb fucking poking from your nipple, and you wear shirts, and sharp things and cloth tend to get stuck on each other. I think it's just very simple. Just stop shaving your nipple. Why are you shaving your chest? This is crazy. I know. I've never once done that. I mean, I'm not like fucking sweater. Like, I know some people that are bad, but like, I got some chest hair, some hamburger meat there. If it's perfectly fine. I would never shave. That sounds awful. I'd have to put a shirt on.
It does sound time consuming. And by the way, I've noticed that people that have a lot of body hair, especially dudes, like it hides the fact that you don't necessarily have ab muscles. So if you shave all your hair off your stomach area, then you need the ab muscles to make, like, you need them to be more defined. Remember Shawn Michaels in his heyday back in the old WWF? And he was always like a nice little hairsuit going on, and he just looked ripped, even though he was one of the smaller guys. It's all because he had a little bit of body hair. Then when he came back from the back injury, he shaved his whole body. I'm like, look at that pussified little motherfucker.
See, I think it's just the picture. I don't know. It's the picture that one has in their head. Like, all right, Wes said David fucking Beckham, and see, I'm over here like Tom fucking Selleck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, exactly. This beard isn't indicative that I don't have hair on my chest. Like, I don't know. I think it wouldn't even make sense.
I'll take Men Will Never Look Like for $800, Alex. All right.
That's fair.
But then again, there is Brad Pitt in Fight Club, and that's kind of my goal. And, I was a pretty hairless, all lathered up.
Do you know he got...
shiny man.
He got dental work that made his teeth look worse in order to make that role more believable. Can you fucking believe that? I mean, I know he had talked about the physical training and the diet that he went on to look like that. Damn it. What was his name in the movie? To look like
Tyler Durden?
Yes. Oh, yeah. He just said it was ridiculous. The amount of chicken you ate, it's not realistic. But I can't believe, I get that. And I know actors for as long as there's been cinema have morphed their bodies, both for better and for worse, to fit the role. But God, hey, I want to chip away at some of my teeth. I guess if you got that kind of money to fix it after the film's done.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You can just get new ones. Then fuck it. Knock them all out. This should be great.
If you planned on getting veneers at the end of the shoot anyway, you might as well just nick them all up and make yourself a legend, one of the most legendary characters in cinematic history.
That's essentially boiling down to like, hey, will you fucking knock all your teeth out to look realistic for like $40 million? Yes. Yep.
Yes, I will.
100%.
Yes.
What else? Don't even ask any more questions. So where do I sign?
Because for 1/100th of that paycheck, I will look phenomenal when it's over.
Right? I'd be like, do you knock them out, or do I start just taking them out now? Like, how would you prefer it?
Bust these things up, yeah. Middle Classholes, everyone. Alan, Murr, Foxman, welcome. I hope you all enjoyed the Christmas special. And this isn't even a New Year special. We don't even really have anything New Year's-y. No resolutions, no bobbing for apples when the apple drops. What do people drink on New Year's? Beer?
We're kind of just sliding into a new year. You know what I mean? It's just kind of happening.
It is.
Yeah.
You're right.
I know it's supposed to be 2022, but it really just feels like a continuation of 2019. It just feels like we're still a part of that fucking oil slick of a year that just won't stop fucking sliding into the future.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have said it more, I guess, somewhat poetic and dreary. Poetry could be dreary, can be, and what you just said is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So happy New Year.
It looks like it's like I was sliding down a slip and slide full of snot that has a ramp right into a poop pool.
It's like getting shot into a fucking like a pool of hot dogs, at a minor league game.
Except you remove the hot dogs and you replace that with poop,
with turds.
Yeah.
But runny turds, like turds that are kind of like just barely held together by very, very minute fibrous products.
Right. Oh. It's held together by chest hair that me and Murr shaved.
just nipple hair.
Hey, I'm sure there's a use for it, man.
That's right. It's a binder in our turds. I guess that you'd have to eat it in order for that to happen, but whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Before the episode's out, I kind of this just popped into my head. I would like to do a celebrity death pool. I know we're going to get to some deaths as of late that just came in this week, and we're coming up on the new year, and I feel like
it's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, the world is weeding itself of everyone right now, any which way. So we might as well put our top three on record, if you will. Last week we did talk about some legalities involving Home Alone and all the booby traps. Well, guess what, fellas? I finally ran into my first booby trap at work.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, no. Yeah. Now, okay. I'm not going to say the company I work for, but obviously I work for a delivery service. And, we're coming right off the holiday season, so we're still working super early, getting to work at 6 a.m., delivering packages and such all the way up until about 8 a.m. And I pull into a guy's driveway, and I'm taking this package up to his garage door. That's where it goes. That's where it's always gone. I start walking. All of a sudden, pow! I feel like I sound like I've been fucking shot. And the guy had set up a tripwire with fucking blasting caps. And so once you hit the tripwire, it pulls the thing out. The thing snaps down, and basically the back of a 22 shell went off like right next to my ear.
Yeah,
I thought I got shot in the side. Of course, I will give myself some credit. I didn't just go like and cry like a little bitch, but I definitely went into like, "Hi, yeah, fuck you" mode, and then I started patting myself down to see where I'd been shot. And the next thing I see is some fucking crazed fucking Vietnam vet, shirtless, wearing some underwear, straggly ass beard, fucking hair ponytailed out, and he's like, "Hey man, sounds like a doorbell to me, but that's for the raccoons." Well, maybe some assholes who like to come snooping around my property too, but regular guy knows about it. And like, well, I'm glad he told me.
Sounds like fucking Gary Busey from Black Sheep.
Sounds awesome.
If Gary Busey had a baby with Steve Buscemi, that's what this guy looked like.
Ugh.
Yeah. You said he was shirtless? Did he shave his chest?
Yeah, one nice strip of fine raccoon skin right down the front of his nipples.
That's a lot of teeth for no chin, the way which you described. Like the fucking sketch artist has their job cut out for them.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Shit. I actually got we're going to get later on pay homage to someone, but I do have celebrities who passed away in 2021. There's a fair amount. We can go over those later on if you want. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, we should judge them by loss or not a loss.
We should just rapid fire and be like, oh.
Oh, God, there's so many.
Just quick reactions.
I mean, there's got to be probably 50 to 60, 50, 60 plus, whatever. Okay, what? We'll see. I mean, but it's not just celebrities. Okay, Eric Jerome Dickey.
All right,
no idea.
Stick with people that like you. We might know.
Okay, fair enough. I will vet it accordingly. All right. Mm-hmm. The wonderful organization known as NASA hires a priest as it appears the agency is expecting the big discovery. Now, you guys, your peepees got hard when you heard about this.
This motherfucker. Like, shouldn't all of humanity's fictional penises get hard?
Or anything.
Well, you guys read into this as aliens are coming, and that's that. So here we go. People call for priests for various life-changing reasons. Baptisms, marriages, funerals are just a few. Why would NASA, the world's leading space agency, hire a priest? Are they expecting a life-changing event? As it so appears, they are. NASA has hired enlisted Reverend David Andrew Davison along with 23 other theologians to help understand
Thank you.
Theologians to help understand how humans might react when and if intelligent life exists on other planets, according to Britain's The Times. Does NASA know something that the rest of us don't? So, without getting way too in the weeds, because it does go on and on for a handful of paragraphs, as it should, it's extremely important. Does this mean NASA is gearing up for something big in 2022?
I just think they're making a plan. I didn't read too far into it. I just think they're making a plan. I don't know if they're going to reveal that alien life exists, but I think they're actually coming to the conclusion that sooner than later, like in the next 50 years, we're probably going to have a run-in with something that we can't explain. And there's a lot of evangelicals and Trumpers out there that might need a little talking to before that day arrives to kind of prepare them for the inevitable. And so they're making a plan. It's one time a government agency's gotten ahead of the game.
Yeah. I think he's right. Like, that was my gut instinct, was they were like, look, we got to have like people on the inside preparing the dumb religious fanatics so that they're not like, holy shit, it's the rapture, and start fucking losing their minds. Like, you know what I mean? You got to soften that blow. So yeah, they're probably about to be like, yo, so hey guys, these are all hypotheticals. We got aliens. How do you guys react? And then they, like, at the end of the fucking 4-week session or whatever it is, they're like, so those weren't hypotheticals. We got these fucking aliens.
do you think?
What do you think we should do?
Do you think these religious figureheads that they're hiring are also going to kind of change the way they think about this? I mean, Adam and Eve certainly didn't fit into the alien equation. Did someone else create the aliens? Not Adam or Eve?
Or did they? I mean, Alan and I and you have discussed this too. The whole Prometheus prospect. Of like, we were planted here by another quote unquote power, a higher power, a more advanced species, maybe. Mm-hmm. So the reason I found this fascinating, because I had a question for you guys. It's the third rail question about religion, but does this strengthen religion or does it weaken it if there are aliens in the universe?
I don't know. I think it might do both.
It depends upon who you ask. Yeah.
Like, yeah. Because I think it could strengthen it that people are like, okay, so there is a God, but it's not this like omnipotent fucking, it's another organic being that is just way fucking better than us. You know what I mean? So it changes it. Absolutely. But it probably still, for a lot of people, because there'd be a lot of people who just cannot fucking wrap their brains around that. Like you said, a lot of evangelicals, probably a lot of like wacko Muslims, probably a lot of, I think the Jews prime, like they would be like, man, whew, okay, this is crazy, but we're in. You know what I mean?
Can they make us money?
There are a lot of changes. I didn't say that. So yeah, this would be fucking wild, man. I think it's an interesting move that I don't know what it foreshadows, but it's fucking definitely, yeah. And this guy that they hired is pretty fucking legit.
Yeah, no,
two doctorates.
He's totally legit. Yeah, he's got like he's a doctor. He's like a scientist and a priest.
Andrew, like it's Andrew Davidson. You're talking about?
Yeah, he's like the perfect. He's like the perfect 1-2 punch, and which is again, I'm surprised the government agency was actually like on the forefront of a good idea. But no, Wes, I kind of have a basic idea where you stand theologically. So, like, what's your take? If there's aliens out there, here's the way I want to frame this.
Yeah.
The Bible exists, right? There's stories in the Bible, and some of them are fantastical and can't be explained by logic. But if something like this is true, where there's an extraterrestrial life force and potentially has visited here, does that, like, how does that framework settle with you, knowing that NASA might be using, like the Catholic Church at least, to try to get this message out?
Because I think NASA, or at least some of the brass at NASA, understand that no matter how hard they try to explain this to some really hardcore religious fanatics, that it's not going to make any difference. I can't science you into this, so we need to bridge the gap somewhere. We need to bring some religious folks, some people that you will respect, some people that you will listen to explain this in the matter in a language, in a verbiage that makes sense to you. So this is how we're going to do it, and I agree with it. I think, yeah, I mean, why not? Christ. And as Alan said, it's more riot control. We don't want these people heads popping off thinking this is it. They're here. No, Jesus isn't here. These are people from another planet.
And I'll say, like, I think we're, I don't know if Wes truly answered your question, so I wanted to kind of take a stab at your question because, yeah, I was raised Roman Catholic. Like, I would kindergarten through high school, man, going to church with school. It was great. I don't really practice anymore, but I think the Catholic faith would probably do what they always do, which is look to the Vatican for the Vatican to give them an answer, and then it that would just disseminate. That's doctrine. Then you get what I'm saying. But I think you also have a lot of Catholics that would be like, all right, well, like Catholics aren't evangelicals. They aren't like, you know, Southern Baptists and Protestants, and like, you know, that are a little bit more off the wall. That I think would be like, okay, well, we have a book written by humans about a supposed human, but now we know we got this thing that's not human. So maybe, you know, God, like I said, God is still, we still see higher power, but now we've met our higher power. I think this doesn't necessarily hold as much weight anymore. You know what I mean? I think some of the values and stuff that you take from that, you know, from the Bible and whatnot, you still probably hold together the root of the faith, but you still have a lot of people being like, okay, we take this with much more of a grain of salt than we did prior. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense because, I mean, the way I'm looking at it is if we find an extraterrestrial, I don't know, being that is enlightened maybe to a further point than us, then that would mean 2,000 years ago, potentially that being came down and disseminated information that we barely understood, wrote it down in anecdotal stories, and then passed it around to the civilizations, and then we created what we are now. So it's almost as if, you know, the prophecy would be true, that 2,000 years later, they come back, and it's like, oh shit, it's not in the form that we thought, but it's fair. It's still relevant. And then here's the thing, though. All the people, this is why it works kind of, I think, where Wes was coming from both ways, is for all the people who mocked the Bible. It's like, see, that shit was true. That shit was right on point.
Right.
It's just we didn't understand it. And now we do. But then you have a problem with the evangelicals who are like, no, it's from the light of the star beyond. It's from the great nether.
Yeah. And like, I also think you got to take into account because, like, all right, Christianity in general, not just Catholicism, but, you know, fucking Christians as a whole, they're, you know, like you said, their story is probably based on some historical fact, but a lot of woven legend and myth and mythology in there. But during those same times and even before those times, mathematically, other civilizations in different parts of the world were also jotting down and writing down a whole lot of similar shit with regards to fucking how they're acquiring knowledge, their gods that they worship, what forms they take. You know what I mean? So, you know, we think we are Western culture. We think very Christian centric, but man, like every single major religion, every minor religion would be losing their minds, because besides like what Hinduism, Buddhism, things like that, you know, all of your monotheistic religions have a singular God, and most of the major ones share that God. Believe it or not, our conservative friends, the Muslim God is the same God as our God, and the same God as the Jewish God. Fun facts. So, like, all of those religions would be fucking bleh, just leaking out of their ears. It's not just like the whole world would literally fuck. Like, that's why I'm saying they got to get in front of this shit.
And the best part is, Wes, our God is going to come down on a spacecraft, walk down that rickety metal ramp, and wave to the world and say, what?
Hello, everybody. I'm Bobcat Goldthwait.
Can you imagine? That'd be amazing.
That would be more of like we calculated everything that we could about everything that we know about humans, and this is millions upon millions of minutes of television, reading, sightseeing, observation, data collecting, and we figured that would be the greeting that sat with you the most, as the most welcoming.
Yeah, that'd be the least threatening greeting, was Bobcat Goldthwait.
Hello.
Like, well, you're not wrong, I think. Good stab at it.
It's funny that you said it. I almost forgot my line. I got a little stage fright there. I was like, wait a minute.
For it too.
That's why. So I gave it a long lead up, just because I figured you'd figure out where it was going. But I also like to think too, like if it came down to just like some wayward asshole like alien who stole a spacecraft one day and landed on this fucking third rock from the sun and just like knocked up some fucking virgin chick in the Middle East somewhere, and it's like, oh man, and I got this chick pregnant. What kind of chick? Earth chick. Ooh, what are we gonna do about it? I'm just gonna tell a bunch of fucking fanciful stories.
You know what? We've waxed,
all being God.
We've waxed about like positive things and interesting things, but it could very much be Prometheus-esque, where they came back because they were like, "Ooh, yeah, this was a fun experiment, but we fucked this one up. So let's go ahead and clean this one out of existence," and then they just kill us all. So, you know, could be the rapture. Who fucking knows?
Good point. Didn't think about that one.
Everything else sounded way more interesting, but you know, Occam's razor and such. They're probably like, "Oh fuck! Look what's happened here."
The Hale-Bopp comet finally comes back around, picks us up.
Yeah. Missed it last time. Got it.
Who's got black Nikes? You coming with us?
All right. So, in my backyard, but both actually in everyone's backyard, literally my front yard, you guys' backyards here, Baltimore. So a serial killer who cut up his victims, sold them as barbecue, is found dead in his jail cell at age 62. Joseph Roy Matheny, admitted serial killer who chopped up his victims, sold them as barbecue from a roadside stand in Baltimore in the 1990s, has died. I mean, there's nothing really more to be said. He was out in Cumberland. I mean, this guy...
That makes sense.
Yep. In addition to the two women he was convicted of murdering, 23-year-old Kathy Spicer and 39-year-old Kathy Ann Magaziner, Matheny confessed to a sickening string of other murders he was never convicted of. So, okay. Yeah. This was like... You posted this and we were like, hell yeah. And now I'm like, guy chopped him up and sold him his barbecue. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, that's why I wanted to bring it up, is because, okay, the 90s.
By the way, look at this guy.
Yeah, he looks like the kind of guy. I mean,
that's a pro wrestler.
Yeah. Which pro wrestler is that? George Animal Steel. That's George Animal Steel.
George Steel. Fucking a white Abdul the Butcher.
Yeah. Well, literally.
King Kong Bundy. Yeah. There was one up here that I saw. Ugh. I don't know if that's not even...
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Anyway.
1994. Just so... Go ahead.
My question is, Are there people out there that are still wondering if they ate people?
Oh, God. Hell yeah. Are you kidding?
Probably.
Do the police deserve, or do the people deserve to have the police tell them whether they've had human or not?
Like, just let that ride.
Well, no, because here's the thing. When I'm out and about at work, I see like a lot of like roadside like taco stands, and I'm a sucker for a roadside fucking like taco truck, especially in the area I'm working, because there's a lot of authentic South American folk, and I'm like, I want a real goddamn taco. And if I'm going to get a real taco, it's not going to be FDA approved, and it's going to be done in the back of this truck, probably without a business license, by a bunch of guys who've never washed their hands in their life. And then I think about this Abdul, the Cumberland butcher there, and I think about, like, if I was driving by, like, hey, look, you want to get some barbecue? And just, you're eating people. I think people deserve to know if they ate people. Because is people delicious? Was it a popular roadside stand?
My man said we taste very similar to pork.
Makes sense.
He said if you mix it in, no one can tell the difference.
But prior to that, he wrote, quote, I had roast beef and pork sandwiches, and why not? They were good. That's not a typo. Yeah. Those were his thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he had a really good smoking. We don't know, man. But
apparently Kathy's are the best tasting meats.
Oh.
So apparently he killed 2 other guys under a bridge, but he got the charges dropped. Oh. He axe murdered 2 homeless guys, but the charges were dropped.
Yeah, well, they were probably vagrants and vagabonds anyway.
Yeah, they were like, it was under a bridge, so I think pretty much anything under bridges is like fucking null and void.
Yeah,
you're under a bridge, you're asking for it.
Yeah, nothing that happens under a bridge is good, so you shouldn't put yourself in those positions.
And by the way, we aren't bringing this up as to pay homage for any type of person who died in 2021. This isn't that type of thing. But man, that's fuck. For him, do you think it was some trial and error? Obviously, chefs taste what they eat before they sell it. Do you think he kind of got a little nibble, a little here, a little there, a little barbecue?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Because he says I feel like that line is said with confidence. Human body taste was very similar to pork. If you mix it together. No, he tried it before he killed these ladies. Like, I don't know where he got human meat. I don't know if he acquired it himself or like someone else passed him on a hunk of human meat and was like, hey, try this out. But he'd had it before. He cooked them ladies.
Well, necessity is the mother of invention, and you got a couple of bodies just lying around. Like, what are you going to do with them? I know. I'll start a taco truck.
Yeah.
I'll start a roadside brisket service.
Or like this Cisco delivered him some turkey, and he wanted roast beef, and he was like, "Fuck that! This stand doesn't sell turkey," and then he just ground up some Kathy.
Yeah, a couple Cathys.
Do you think there was ever a cannibal that came by on the offhand chance, or someone who had human was like, I'm
on to you.
I know.
That rings a bell.
Want to partner up?
Oh.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. He's dead. Fuck him. Last story of the day. I actually saw this. I don't know where. It might have been Facebook. So, female police officer gives boss raunchy lap dance at a wild Christmas party. So, a 26-year-old rookie cop. I'm going to end up butchering her name. It gave a lap dance to Lieutenant Nick McCrary during a Christmas party. They're out of the Bronx. I think, was it...
Of course they are.
I mean, should we show the raunchy tape?
Yeah, is there? I didn't know there was a tape.
I didn't even know there was raunchy.
Oh, there is, but not on this thing. Shit, I didn't look. I'll try to see if I can get it up here. So, rookie cop, the booze is flying. Lieutenant sits down. She gives like a raunchy lap dance. I've seen the tape. It's not, it's not like ha ha ha. It is ass grinding into this lieutenant, and it goes on for probably 2.5 to 3 minutes. Enough to where it's like, okay, someone should have stepped in after 30 seconds. I'm like, all right, okay, okay, stop enough. Let's just be professional here. But nope, it went on and on and on. He paid $90 for an entire song, if you catch my drift.
Bro, you ever party with some cops? This is on par. This is fucking on brand, sir. And yeah, this was a dumb move on both of their parts. You see, they reassigned his ass too. They were like, "All right, go hide in the evidence locker real quick."
Here's the question:
get rid of this shit.
Who complained though? Was it the fact that it got out, or were people uncomfortable? Because you said nobody stepped in to stop it, so everybody obviously was enjoying themselves. So is it just like to save face for the department? Like, this isn't the kind of thing that we tolerate around here until next year's Christmas party.
I think they sent him up to where that cop who was duping out Cuomo's daughter. They sent him along up that way.
Niagara Falls duty, fellas.
Yeah.
It was probably like, I bet it was like, she's a rookie cop and she kind of sucked. Like, nobody really liked her. But they knew that if they got her like a little drunk and like egged her on, she'd do something stupid. And so they did that, and they were like, "Hey, go fucking." And Lieutenant was like, "Yeah, we'll get this bitch fired, or just rue it. She'll quit." And that's probably what's going to happen.
I don't know.
Go to the fucking evidence locker for like 6 months, and he's going to be good to go.
I think she's just a victim of hot cop syndrome, because there's always that one hot lady cop, and
That's
she
true.
can do whatever she wants, and every other cop's gonna let her do whatever she wants. This is the kind of thing that ruins. This is why Christmas parties in America have been basically canceled, like for the last 10 years. It's because somebody always does some dipshit tomfoolery bullshit like this.
Yeah, no, you're right. Every Christmas party I had at this one company, like one of the broads got unruly. Oh, a couple of the dudes did too, actually. But no, I was gonna say, I'm looking at this picture, and my man's got the whole. He's got a handful of thigh and hip. He's not just sitting back and enjoying this one.
No,
he's getting interactive. That's almost hands enough to get fucking kicked out by a large man in a professional setting. So yeah, I think they're both in trouble.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
Did she touch the floor? Did she touch the floor?
Oh, she's on it. Oh, he's
like, yeah.
You see this guy right here? Whoa, yeah. Oh, okay.
And the whole place is like, this is inappropriate.
This ain't her first rodeo, man.
The long arm of the law there. It went on for about, like I said, it was about way too long. Well, I don't know. Whatever. I mean, I wouldn't have stopped it. Wait, what'd you say, Murr? Who stepped in? Who was like, "Hey, you can't be doing this. You're a lieutenant. You're not a sergeant."
Damn.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. I don't know what you necessarily do with that. I think you leave before the fucking phones pop out. I think you go out for a cigarette.
I wasn't even there. I didn't even see shit.
Nope. That's like, as soon as you see this happen, as soon as the chair gets put in the center of the fucking room and space starts getting made, you walk away. Yeah. You go to the bar. You're like, yep, I don't know. I didn't see it. I was ordering a drink.
Dude, I get uncomfortable even at like weddings, like during like the garter ceremony bullshit.
Yeah.
Because that's just weird. Like, hey man, you're my best friend. I want you to be the best man at my wedding. And then I want you to dip your fingers as close to my new wife's pussy as humanly possible, and take off a ceremonial squishy ring.
That's not how that works. That's not how it works.
Not how that works, sir.
What are you talking about? I thought the garter was up by the up.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, but
the groom takes it off the bride, and then he throws it to a crowd of dudes.
And then the
whoever
bride
catches that holds on to it. The bouquet gets thrown by the broad to the other broads. Whoever catches that, they then do the thing that you're thinking about.
Ow.
Yeah. No. What?
Yeah.
I've been to some really strange weddings, guys.
Cecil Tucky's weird, man.
Well, I was saying, I caught a garter at a wedding that like a 17-year-old caught the bouquet. When I was 26, 27. Yeah. I put that on her ankle. It's like, boop, see ya. Good night, everyone.
Put it on her wrist.
Yes. Like,
here you go.
Good night.
That's what this is for, right?
No one take any photos of this. I'll fuck you up. Shit. Well, I wonder. Yeah, I mean, it didn't really say. I mean, success does not come without failure. I've learned at a very young age. Whoever the hell that was quoting. I have tackled every task, every obstacle that came before me. I like helping others, and I always put others before myself. This is someone, either the lap dancer or the lap dancee, said that. So, no shit. or this could just be another victim of the 21st century where everything's on tape because they were all consenting adults having a good fucking time, a really good fucking time. Yeah.
And I always think about the shit I got myself into where the only opportunity for anyone to incriminate me was to take some photos on a disposable camera and maybe a month later go pick them up from a photo mat and then pray they got the incriminating shot they were looking for in the first place. Like, just limited opportunities for me to get into the bullshit that these people get themselves into. Now, these are adults. They should have known better.
Right.
However, if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one there to grind it like a stripper at a fucking seedy nightclub, is there anyone to be offended?
Yeah. Former real estate agent. How bad do you gotta be doing at selling houses to become a public servant?
A servant of some sort.
Serving something.
Well, if she offered that kind of service to her clients, then she'd be pulling a lot more fucking loot than a police officer.
Yeah, see, she wasn't thinking.
Yeah. Well, good luck to her, I suppose, and him. And I guess good luck to that department. You're down at least one officer and one less hot chick that you all wished you had a lap dance from.
Dude, it's great because if you read this whole article, they did exactly to the lieutenant what they do in like cop TV shows. Like, you're busted down to traffic duty. They put him to like the transit department. So he's just gonna hang out and fucking like write parking tickets for a couple months until it goes away.
Yeah. So I make I make the same money, but I do no work. You got it, guys.
On it.
Fuck. Well, like I said, yeah. Good luck to him, her, whoever these people are. 2022, flying off of that slip and slide into a pool of shit.
Into just rocks. There's rocks under the slip and slide too. Tons of them.
Hope you met your quota. Get yourself a raise. All right, Mr. Murrow. It's time for New Year's Fun Fact Friday.
Ooh.
Oh. Well, we are wrapping up the official Did You Know calendar as we speak. This is uncurated. These are the last fun facts of the year 2021. And, of course, Fun Fact Friday being brought to you, of course, by the medical group that has done more for medical science than ivermectin has done for COVID. You can find them on Facebook. It is the Shin Splints Recovery Group. If you got any pain below the knee and above the ankle and you need yourself some like-minded assholes who suffer from the same bullshit you do, find them on Facebook, the Shin Splints Recovery Group. Let's get to it. Your final fun facts of the year. I don't have a good transition, so did you know? In 1984, all Coco the gorilla wanted for Christmas was her own pet cat. When she was given a toy cat instead, she refused to play with it and signed the word sad until they finally gave her a real cat.
Coco's the one that knew like 2,500 words, right?
Yeah, and I think like Robin Williams visited her and there's like some documentary about it now.
Right.
Is that back when he dressed up like fucking Mork? Like all the time?
No, I don't think so. I think, I don't think that's, no. He dressed up like Mork all the time because he played Mork.
Nah, man. My man was Mork for a while. Like in real life.
Is when art met reality.
Yeah. I've seen that movie.
Yeah. But I did not know he did sad or she did sad and they gave her a real cat. And then what did he, did the cat give the grill a lap dance at a Christmas party?
Not the only one getting pussy around here. No, but I remember there was a whole thing where, like, I think the cat died eventually, and they had to, like, they were scared to tell Coco because Coco could kill everyone in the room that, you know, their cat was dead. And then she just signed sad again and then wanted another cat. And then they got her another cat.
Wow. Shit, look at that. Fucking, we need to teach more gorillas sign language.
Do we? I don't know, dude. I don't know sign language. Like, I know a couple things.
Well, I think I
think it would be worse. Actually, they could communicate.
If you recall, during an episode a while back, gorillas and chimps were having like these 80-minute to like 90-minute long wars and battles, and they were killing. I think if you were able to sign language some stuff in the middle of that, you could really, Joe Rogan would be absolutely just mesmerized at the insight that he was getting about how these gorillas and chimps felt.
I think, that makes a little bit more sense. I was going to say market it like bum fights, and then just have somebody dub over like them sign language dissing each other.
I just think that you're like overestimating how complex that these conversations would be once they learn the sign language. It's going to be like, I throw poop at you, like
bread.
I throw poop at you. No.
Mouth.
I throw poop at you.
My bananas. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. They would be fucking very primitive.
Right.
No, my bananas, or what? Or I throw poop at you.
Or I rip you in half because I'm a gorilla and you're a chimp.
And then I poop on both of you.
And then I poop on both halves of you.
This goes back to a 3 and Out where you said, would you like to speak every language in the world or talk to animals? And I specifically said that talking to animals would be a lot less romantic and intellectual than you think. And I think this is what we would get with chimps and gorillas. Yeah. I gotta poop. You want to have sex? You want some bananas? Poopy. I'm gonna go fuck these people up.
Yeah. I got some nuts.
You want some nuts?
We've come full circle.
Fuck, I had a point I wanted to make, but the alcohol is taken over, so there's no point.
The sign language.
Oh, that's what it was. I wanted to, because I'm shitty I've never been able to learn a foreign language. So, between semesters at college, I was like, I started teaching myself American Sign Language, and they were like, all right, what language do you want to take? I said, I want to do American Sign Language. Like, well, that's not a language. I was like, what do you mean it's not a language? Like, it's not a language. Like, yeah, it's English, and it's done with your hands. And I'd like to be able to... I felt like being proficient in American Sign Language would be much more fruitful for the world than trying to learn, like, fucking German or Russian or French or anything else.
You're right on all 3 of those. You should have just said Spanish. It's the most useful. You can ignore it all you want, but it is.
It is, but look, in America, there's a lot of handicapped motherfuckers who can't talk. And so my thought process was like, yeah, I could just work for the goddamn court system, sit on my ass all day, watch YouTube videos until like that 5% of the population came in for a court date, and I just did plea deal.
I was like, you can do that with Spanish too, or French, or German, or any of that shit. But yeah, no, I mean that's fair. I don't see how it wouldn't be a language. That seems discriminatory.
One more time.
Plea deal.
Plea deal. That's plea deal. Huh? No.
Or prison.
Like it.
So I'm already fluent. Did you know Kentucky Fried Chicken is such a popular Christmas meal in Japan that orders have to be placed up to 2 months in advance?
I had heard this before.
Jesus, that's not worth it,
sir.
Listen, I love the Colonel's recipes, and I love the Colonel's readings about how he shot Dave Thomas and got inspired to make these recipes. But I'll be goddamned if 2 fucking months. I barely know what I'm going to eat 3 days from now.
But if you know the time is coming, like, dude, like that just shows you how much of a delicacy a good Southern fried chicken is to the world. It's not just, look, the South is fat for a reason. Like, you look at the fattest states in America, they all roam right around what I like to call the deep fat region of the country.
Yeah. Who was that fucking that racist white lady that they used to have on TV cooking?
Paula Deen.
Yeah, that bitch put everything in Crisco and or butter.
Yes. a combination. Well, now what you want to do is you want to get a nice mixture of your butter and Crisco.
That's how you knew they were good.
This is more of a half and half recipe. You go back to my recipe book. There's 75-25 and the opposite on the other end.
I've never watched her, but I assume she puts lard and butter into pans with her bare hands. Like, I assume she's just like...
And now you're going to gently take your broccoli stalks and smother it in your lard butter. And then you're going to dip it into your beef tallow fat.
Yummy.
And then we're going to bread it up with some Wonder Bread. Everyone's favorite.
Yeah. So, but imagine this, though. Imagine you were the first of the Japanese to get your hands on some sweet, delicious, salty 11 herbs and spices of the Colonel's delightful chicken. And you are so taken aback that now, like half a century later, you got to fucking order your KFC in October to make sure you got it on your plate in December.
Yeah.
Fried chicken.
I guess what you do is, especially if you have a family, I would see this might be, or if you just love fried chicken that much yourself, but I think you make a point to do it. You say, damn, right now. Okay, say, we got December 29th. Damn. Some chicken would be good in February.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and place that order. Then you mark your calendar.
Nah. Because American KFCs would be like, what are you doing? Just come on that day.
Well, I'm talking about in Japan. And of course,
I feel like there are fewer. There are probably much fewer KFCs to serve the population, so it makes some sense.
Well, but my point is like you make a point to do that 2 months in advance. You just say, "Fuck it, I like this, that's what I'm going to make that order." And I apologize. I talk like a hillbilly. I didn't want to be too mocky of the Japanese. Let me hold on. I could do it if you want. Oh, man.
I was about to, and then I stopped. I was going real fucking South Park with it.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Please give me an example.
Absolutely not. I'm not being the one to do it. You go ahead, Wes.
I plead the fifth.
Oh God! But that sounds like fun. Go ahead.
The thing about, I know what you're saying, Wes, is like just go to a KFC. These are Japanese KFCs, okay? Yeah. This is where the 11 herbs and spices are divvied out in their 1/11th ratio to the proper proportions. This is where they're still put into stainless steel, deep fat, deep fryers that are fucking pressurized. This is where they still do the Kentucky Fried Chicken right. This is where the Colonel probably has several hundred illegitimate children because they still made his recipe the right way. You know, he wanted to shut KFC down before he died because he thought that the quality control had gone downhill so far since he left the company.
Damn.
That was a 100-year-old man who who saw his bullshit, who saw his delicacy being fucking bastardized by the fucking capitalist assholes he sold it to.
I heard that he calls it the land of the rising suns because of all of his illegitimate children that he has scattered around the islands.
Yeah, that's so good. And I'm writing that shit down.
And I'll have you know that the rank of colonel in the Japanese military is a Rakugun Tasiya.
Yep, that's it.
You pronounce that wrong. That's Rakugun Tasiya.
That's great. We got to get a bit with like a little bit of like, what is that? That Japanese like guitar sound. I don't even know what the hell the instrument's called. The stringed instrument that you usually hear when like Japanese sunsets are happening.
Well,
if that in the background of the Colonel.
Well, if they fought harder, you know what it's called.
Oh shit!
There you go. Yes.
With the sitar?
Did you know? Okay. No, it's not a sitar.
No, that's Indian.
Yes. Did you know barns are red because 18th century farmers prevented mold by covering the wood with a mixture of milk, lime, iron, and rust, which eventually turned red. Once mass production paint became available, red was not only a familiar color, but it was also the least expensive. It is still the cheapest paint color today, so it remains a frugal tradition.
How the fuck do you get that mixture? Geez, that the trial and error in that alone just baffles me. Read those again. Milk, iron.
Milk, lime, iron, and rust.
Wow. I mean, that's the ingenuity behind that baffles me, and I get it. No, I don't get it. It's just, fuck, how do you sit around and I'm curious as to how they even got the ball rolling on that.
Pause.
Yeah.
Can you reread that again? Can you reread the whole thing again?
Okay. The whole thing?
Yeah,
please. Okay. All right. Barns are red because 18th century farmers prevented mold by covering the wood with a mixture of milk, lime, rust, and iron, which turned it red. Once mass production paint became available, red was not only a familiar color, but it was also the least expensive. It's still the cheapest paint color today and remains a frugal tradition.
Interesting.
So the only reason we paint barns red now is because we're used to seeing barns red in the past, and paint technology now prevents mold anyway. I think milk, because it was a substance that would kind of congeal and was readily available to farmers. Lime, because it does kill mold and bacteria. Iron. See, the iron part, I don't get. The rust, because obviously you're gonna sand your iron because it's got like an oxidation on it. Yeah, that's probably where most of your coloring came from in the first place, inadvertently. The iron, I don't understand. All the other ones, I get, but no, like what's the saying? What you're alluding to is like, I don't think we're any smarter today than we were 200-300 years ago. We just have more things and information available to us to advance further. But the innovation of farmers in America, it's funny that we kind of demonize them as the dummies. Like we make fun of farmers like, "Oh, I'm just a big dumb farmer." Hippity-dippity-doo. But the innovations that came out of what they were, experimenting with 200 years ago, like, I mean, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, the again, it's 2 parts iron, 1 part milk, 3 parts lime, and stir it up. Nope, that's not it. Okay, back to the drawing board. Did you do and I say that as a term of endearment, like because that's probably how they were talking back then. But no, that's wild. I know, I did not know that, and that may be one of the more fascinating Fun Fact Fridays I've ever heard.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah.
Also, rust apparently antifungal.
Okay.
And stops moss from growing.
You're beating them. You're nipping mold in the butt from in the forefront with that. That's the front line. That's the pawns, if you will.
Mm-hmm. And think about how replaceable things are today. Like there's still barns standing from the 1800s because that paint that they made with concoction of bullshit that they found in their fucking garage, like it was so superior to what we're able to kind of produce today. You're right. That I didn't think it was as fascinating until you guys. I only thought it was fascinating because like I understood in my mind where the red color came from.
Right.
It's from all the oxidation. It just turns it red. But yeah, all the rest. Like, you're right. That concoction. How did they get it right? How did they know? I'm sure there's some dumbass farmers that like their barns fucking rotted and fell down. Too much milk, Jimmy.
Well, I think there's some barns that stand today. There's a lot of barns that don't stand as a result of bad mixtures.
Well, I'm like, I mean, you guys have some land out there that I'm sure has some rusty old fucking equipment laying in it. I mean, am I fucking wrong? Nope, you see Murr being like, yep, yes, sir,
100%, right down the road. I'm amazed.
Wes the city boy now. He doesn't like to identify.
I was back there this week, so yes.
But my natural thought process is like, again, simplest solution. They were like, fuck. Ship keeps growing on that thing. Look at those old rusty fucking plows we got over there. Not a fucking speck of green life on them because it can't live. So we'll use some of that shit. I think the iron, because if you put iron in it, it will rust, continuing the red and continuing your antifungal treatment. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it'll.
Yeah. No, I did. Yeah. Yeah. It's like iron is raw rust.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps everything nice and fucking treated. Early wood.
I still stand by the milk. I think it's just like this shit'll dry eventually. You know what I mean? Like if you put milk out,
body. Yeah.
Yeah. The milk will dry and create a film.
Yeah. It's like it's like a thickening agent. You know what I mean? And a sealer.
That's right. Would you say what's her face? Who's the chef, the cook that you're talking about?
Paula Deen.
This is Paula Deen before Paula Deen. It's from her roots.
She covered that bitch lard. It wouldn't work out as well. Be highly flammable as well.
I'm saying it's her roots. These are her people.
Yeah, well, yeah. Fair.
Did you know George Washington's troublesome teeth were made of bone, hippopotamus ivory, human teeth, lead, brass screws, and gold metal wire, but not wood?
Jesus, how the hell did they get all that mixed together?
Yeah.
Hey, Jimbo, what'd you put on your barn? Georgie needs some teeth. We were just wondering if you got anything in your recipe book.
What do you think it would make for some good teeth?
Oh, help! I got some bone and some hippopotamus ivory around. Right? Old Billy lost a couple teeth yesterday. I don't know what this lead's gonna do, but what, dude? It just makes me wonder. Like, did Washington go crazy from having fucking lead in his mouth all day?
It's a solid possibility.
Now, was this?
I don't know what happens. I don't know what blood poisoning does to you as an adult. It's more troublesome as a youth. I know that much.
What do you need lead for in teeth? Like were they too light?
No, they just needed something hard. This was a time when they were just like, all right, we got a fucking sturdy material here. That shit'll chomp through some fucking whatever, some fucking rare cooked meats that you're gonna eat, Mr. Washington. Like there was no science behind the lead. It was solely a hard object that wouldn't break when he tried to eat something.
Do you think that like this was legitimate presidential treatment though? Like, oh, we're gonna craft you the finest of finest teeths, and we're gonna give you hippo ivory and copper and whatever else you just said.
Yeah, yeah. The lead tooth was probably like early on.
Yeah,
the hippo ivory was definitely presidential.
Yeah, but every other commoner, I tell you what. Every other dick-headed farmer and commoner, they get wood. House of Representatives, they get a little bit more. Senators, they get good stuff. President, here you go. Here's a menu. Pick what you want.
Yeah. He went with the hippo ivory.
Yeah. And probably...
It's a good selection, sir.
It seems like 17 other fucking things that you said. I mean...
Would you say lead? Hippo ivory. I knew other human teeth.
Yeah, regular ass bone. Hippo ivory, human teeth, lead, brass screws, and gold metal wire.
That sounds like the worst part.
But you got to remember, when Washington got his teeth, he didn't really get them from an American dentist. He likely got them from a British dentist.
Right. That's true. Dentistry was probably not a thing.
Which is probably why you've never seen the man smile in any of his paintings. They were a necessity. They were utilitarian. They were not fucking meant. I do wonder, like, that's the only reason I would want to travel into, like, if I had a time machine, I just kind of want to go see people's mouths. See what they, seriously.
It's such a weird statement.
Well, no, because I know.
Show me your mouth, Mr. President.
Hey man, let me see your mouth. I'm from the future.
You could take any model, male or female today, and fuck their mouth up, fuck their teeth up, and they would not be who they are today. So when you see like these regal figures from the past, not a one of them's got a toothy grin going on because, tooth technology wasn't exactly up to par. So I'd like to see what these motherfuckers look like if you fucking like cracked a good joke. Like, God damn.
Yeah.
Good thing you got a beautiful mind because you don't got a beautiful face.
I mean, I think I'm with you, but we also got to keep it into perspective. Like, we know, like, factually, he walked around with, like, wigs full of lice and shit. So, like, it was a different time.
Yeah. There was also, I read, they were ranking greatest presidential athletes, and Washington cracked like the top 15.
What?
Like, yeah, and it's like just because he was a bigger man for his time, you know, and then he apparently
it was like what 5'10",
something like that. Yeah,
6 foot. No, he was 6 foot even, which was like a giant for the era.
Yeah.
But no
football.
Go read some shit about like early George Washington, because like he was a bad motherfucker. Like, and he was not a turnaround. There was one battle where apparently he charged in full bore, and his horse was shot and killed. And when he came back, he had like bullet holes in like all like the where the material would flap in the wind. He had bullet holes and all that shit, musket holes. Didn't get fucking hit. Like he would charge full force into that kind of nonsense. And he was hand-to-hand combat guy when he's in his 20s. You got to remember, this guy, like, I don't remember how old Washington was when he died. Like, he was an older man for that era, but he was a sturdy dude.
Yeah. Do you think he knew the significance of what he was getting into when he became the first president? Do you think he knew that, like, hey, I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down in history.
I honestly believe he did. Okay. Everything I've read about him, because they were going to call him Your Excellency, and they were going to give him like these titles that were very regal, and he said no.
Yeah,
he said no. We just fought a war to end that shit. Yeah. I'll be a president. I will reside over a governing body, but I will not be a dude. Of all the bullshit that's happening with the woke culture now, like, George Washington's the last guy you should cancel. Yeah, you can look into everybody's past and find something shady, but like the philosophies that he was pressing forward are worthy, and we should respect him for that.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with him on that one.
Yeah.
Look, man, everybody owned people back then. It doesn't make it better, but it's something that, in the grand scheme of things, like he said, we would probably have a king, and we would have already started to slide towards dictatorship a whole lot sooner if he hadn't been like, pause, that's not how we're supposed to do this.
Right.
So, yeah.
And you know what he also did? He made his troops get a smallpox vaccine, just so you know.
Yeah. You're goddamn right. He
was like, rub them blankets all over yourselves, boys.
He had quote unquote doctors walk around Valley Forge, find everybody with pussy sores. He had them slip them with a fucking rusty blade, keep the pus in a jar, walk around, cut healthy motherfuckers, and rub pus into their wounds so that they could, quote unquote, be inoculated. That's how we won the revolution. In fucking sub-zero temperatures. He also led a battle across the Delaware on Christmas Day to kill a bunch of motherfuckers.
Extra baller.
Do you think when the aliens come, they'll talk about that? Hey, we heard this really good thing about on Christmas. Some of you guys celebrate. When you religious kooks are talking about this thing.
Dude, I fucking truly love, like, the progression of war. It sounds morbid, but, like, you go back to shit like that, and the fucking Brits are all hammered up making fucking, blood sausage and whatever the shit they eat for fucking breakfast, and they're just sitting over there fucking hanging out, having a good time. It's Christmas. Nobody's fucking coming to us on baby Jesus' birthday. Fucking George Washington says, fuck you, motherfuckers. Let's do this. Mm-hmm. Just runs ramp shot through their fucking camp. Gotta love it. The fucking war progression's great. And then, like, every now and then you gotta take a step back. Like, we started stabbing dudes with serrated blades, and then we were like, whoa. Okay, that's fucking brutal. Guys dying in holes for like 2 weeks. It's fucking, we gotta outlaw that. That's a bad idea. Like, war progression's interesting.
I want a movie made about George Washington featuring that battle starring Liam Neeson, where on Christmas Day, he murders an entire fucking camp of British soldiers and stands over them and says, "Where's your God now?"
Have you ever, you guys watch Robot Chicken by chance?
Bark, 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 bark.
Yes, well, obviously Wes does. Have you seen it, Bert?
No, I did in the past, but yeah, go ahead.
There is I believe there's a dramatized, right? Yeah, version of that as claymation in Robot Chicken, but it's like themed like 300, like the movie 300, but it is that battle, like him crossing and then like slaughtering British soldiers, but in claymation. stop motion. So you should check it out. It's pretty good.
I will. I 100% will.
My alternative line is "Happy birthday, Jesus."
He does say something corny. I'm fairly certain.
And finally, did you know about 400 million years ago, before trees were common, the Earth was covered with giant mushrooms?
No.
That
makes sense.
That were brought to you by aliens.
I think that Alan will agree with that statement. Honestly.
Yeah. No, I think we had a long discussion about this.
We did.
Mushrooms are definitely alien. 100%.
So, like, it was more or less the inspiration for Super Mario Brother, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The people, the Japanese that wrote that were historians. Just waiting 2 months to get some Kentucky Fried Chicken.
It's Japanese old civilization, man.
I would love to see what happens when we finally destroy ourselves and an alien civilization has to come down here and pick apart the pieces and decide what happened. I'd love to see that fucking wet acid dream that they come up with. Like, okay, so the Japanese worshipped an Italian plumber who found enlightenment through magical mushrooms.
What if Mur? All right, I need you to stick with me here. What if the aliens come, like we destroy ourselves, the aliens come down, and the only thing that is really intact to provide any kind of data is the like vast mushroom fungi network under the fucking soil that we talked about. And they basically just like pull all of human history data out of that shit. And they're like, oh, these motherfuckers are dumb.
Yeah.
That worked out for us. That worked out well.
I thought you were going to go the other way where like the mushrooms, the mycelium was actually collecting all the data that we have been creating, and they were actually able to extract all of our human civilization's knowledge from the ground.
They were, but they probably didn't learn anything they didn't already know. They could space travel. Fast.
Or much like the cannibal who tasted human barbecue and was like, when the aliens discovered these mushrooms, like, wait a minute, I know these are familiar. Yeah. You think that when they discover this, they say Mario, right? And what would they label Mario in this case? I don't know. Colonel.
I feel like they would find like a Wario hat, and then the whole fucking legend changes.
Well, what I was going to say is they somehow have to figure out his much more insignificant, smaller penis brother Luigi, who are Japanese, of course.
Yes. Well, we need to start writing shit down. That's what I'm taking away from this. Like, the Egyptians, they could have been just a bunch of dumb motherfuckers. I think about, Wes is going to know what I'm talking about, and there's a documentary about it now. The trees at Perry Point, where that crazy motherfucker, that schizophrenic went out and just, like, carved his fucking manifesto into all the trees leading back to Perryville Park. You know what I'm talking about?
What?
I sure don't.
See, he's city folk now. He doesn't know what's going on out there.
You don't know about this, Wes.
No, I should talk to my mom. Was it one of my mom's patients?
I don't know, possibly, but no. The guy probably would have been about your mom's age. Dude, on the way back into Perryville Park.
Yeah.
There's like a whole bunch of trees with like carvings on them.
I've read that. I've seen those. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I didn't know it was some fucking schizo who was doing ancient Egyptian scripture.
I don't know that he was doing ancient Egyptian scripture, but what I'm saying is the ancient Egyptians could have been much like that schizophrenic, just fucking like pounding weird dumb shit into rocks. And then we still study it like it has something of value to fucking give to the rest of the world.
Okay.
The only reason we get to it and we study it is because it's there. When we fucking fade out, what are they going to go through my Max hard drive to fucking find out what kind of bullshit we were talking about for the last 2 hours?
Here's the thing. I always just perceive those as the ramblings of a madman. For a minute, you had me thinking like these were Didu from Deep Space Nine talking to this guy, which is probably legit.
it has a Wikipedia page. Perryville tree engravings.
It has its own fucking wiki?
Yeah, let's see. Carvings and engravings of more than 100 trees located in Perryville Community Park in Perryville, Maryland. Trees were carved by former patients of the nearby Perry Point Veterans Medical Center.
Now, listen, Alan, before you go on, the medical center in Perry Point houses a fair amount of schizophrenics who were damaged via World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam. And I'm not people who suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. Kind of what this says. Well, did you think I was going to be disrespectful?
No. I just thought you were going to allude to that these people. No,
I can read out loud and comprehend at the same time.
I just didn't want you to get into a phase where you were saying these people were like doing otherworldly scriptures.
No. I look here. Several of the trees contain engravings that were made by mentally ill American military veterans. If you just shut up, I got there. Many of the trees contain the engraving Nelson Jochnu, I don't know. Possibly the name of one of the engravers. The engravings contain religious rhetoric, political statements, personal memoirs, and outbursts. Sometimes the carvings are a combination of political and religious statements. For example, one tree is engraved with Christ said to police there was no Second World War. Other engravings include King of Kings, Lord of Lords, all authority is given unto he in heaven and earth, Battle of Armageddon, Infantry Armory, Nixon, that's my favorite, Help, Murder, Police, 1920, 1911, Monks didn't want to murder Taylor Holly. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Dude, that should be the name of an album.
Right? Yeah. And Eddie Kennedy did not want to murder George Norris, but St. Ignatius made him.
Look that up. Dude, send that to Alex Jones. We gotta get to the bottom of this.
Mr. Jones, listen, we don't mean to ruffle any tail feathers or bother you with some bullshit, but we think we're onto something. We do. Perry Point
is wild.
And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
The last of the 2021 year. Thank you, Murr. Appreciate it. Christ, and we learned a lot today. I think that may have been one. Were you saving?
That was the most enlightening one, I think.
I was going to say, were you saving up like IQ point ones? Like you're like, yeah, I'm gonna save that one for the New Year episode.
Listen, I'm gonna read the dates from these: December 30th, December 29th, December 28th, 27th, and the 24th. The only one I left out was the one about a killing. You know what? Hold on. Let's do a bonus.
Yeah, say it. You almost started
it. Okay. Did you know Harper Lee wrote her famous novel because she was given the best Christmas gift ever? In 1956, friends gave her a note that said, "You have 1 year off to write whatever you please. Merry Christmas." They supported her with a year's wages, and she wrote To Kill a Mockingbird, the most depressing book ever.
Here's sucks.
A joyous gift.
Good night, everyone. Middle Classholes. Take care.
No, but that's awesome though, because like you know how we went back to that artist who they gave him like $85,000 to like
take the money and run,
yeah, and then he just said, "Here's nothing because I just took all your money." Like that's essentially what they did, and she created one of the most timeless novels of all time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I did not know that.
There you go. So there you go. That's your Fun Fact Friday.
A lot of good, interesting ones.
Yeah,
I learned something today.
That was from December 25th and 26th.
It's Dad, and happy birthday, Alan.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, Christmas baby. But I think for those of you who don't know, Alan born on Christmas, and he turned the ripe age of 35.
Yes.
Yeah, 35. There you go. Woo! You beat Jesus. Look at you.
I made it. I think I made it like a year ago.
Last year.
Either way,
yeah. 33 and some change.
Hey. And I will say, Merry birthday, Alan.
Thanks, man. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
what is it, Saturnalia? Is that what the witches talk about? I don't know.
To Cecil Countyans, we are deep rooted in Kwanzaa. You bet your tail quarters.
Real quick though, the school likes to do like these different days, and the week leading up to winter break. They had all these days lined up where the kids had to dress up a certain way, and one of them was Kwanzaa Day. So he had to wear red, black, and green, And I'm just thinking, like, isn't it almost worse if I send my ultra white son to school wearing traditional black colors?
Yeah.
They got to gain an appreciation. Alan, am I wrong?
What's that?
They have to gain an appreciation.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Like, I mean, I guess they don't need to necessarily wear the colors, but I think it's interesting to hear about. Like, I didn't even know what Kwanzaa was about until like fucking 10 years ago. Yeah.
Did you send him in looking like the ultimate warrior?
You should.
Nah, I just sent him.
It's the perfect colors.
I gotta tell you, man. I feel like I did perfect. I sent him in a plaid shirt. That was just red, green, and black.
You should have hit me up. You should have hit Wes up. Actually, there's that dashiki store, like right around the corner on fucking Route 1. You just pull up. Could have got my Africa pendant and shit.
You could have been styling and profiling, legitimately.
Well, I got 4 more years elementary school, so that might be on the list.
Yeah, it's probably a rough town up there for that kind of stuff.
To say, before you get your son into a culture appreciation fair, let us know. Vet that by us. We got to tell Maria. Listen, I talked to the boys. I talked to the brass of, and we're going to figure this out. By the way, I'm dying to know. Okay, I stopped by the Sowers residence. Alan, if you don't know, you know Adam. Who's been on for asking for a friend. Adam's wife grew up across the street from her, and now his parents still live across the street from the house that Murr bought. I stopped by to give Adam some gin and some like crab cake mix on Christmas Eve. So we had a couple beers. I missed Murr by not that much. It was like an hour or so. But Gail, Jess's wife, or Jess's mom, sorry, I've had a few beers. Jess's mom was ultra excited about William showing up. And she was like, William is the token child. William is going to get pampered and spoiled to death tonight because he is the only child here tonight. I'm going to make sure that it happened. I could see it in her eye. She was gleaming. She was like, did it happen? Did she come through on that?
Oh, he's definitely catered to, and he treated. But yeah, like he gotta. But see, the thing is, like, this is gonna sound mean, but like, yeah, she gave him a lot of books. She tried to enrich his mind.
Yeah,
which is exactly what a kid wants on Christmas.
Okay,
God forbid.
Yeah,
not in my America. God damn it.
You could have taped a Pez dispenser in the fucking binder.
But, like, she could have fed him candy and chocolates and fucking cookies or something, but no, she gave him, like, books.
All right. Well, shit.
Just, like, grow and be better than us.
Yeah.
And Adam gave him a stuffed animal, like, that, same as his dog, and he clutched that thing like a fucking gold bar all night, and so that, he was taken care of. And I gotta say, I will brag about him, he was good as the gold he should have received until he got home. And then it was my problem. But the whole time he was there, which is actually the most important part, like amongst people and a gathering, he was fucking glorious.
Yeah.
Like he looked like the child that on the outside he should be, but we all know that he's not.
This is actually I'm going to share this before we get to our remembrance of celebrities who died. Hold on, we get on time here. Fuck it, whatever. We can talk as much as we want. It's our podcast. I always forget what's Jess's dad's name. Jess and Eli. Dave. Yeah. So I show up. Dave says, "Oh, hey, Merry Christmas. Happy to have you." Yada yada. I'm only going to be here for about 45 minutes or so. You want a beer? Yeah. And he's sipping on something in a cocktail glass on the rocks, right? And I just assumed, because he said, "Do you want some booze?" I said, "No, I'm driving, so I'll just have beer." And he said, "Okay." And I assumed it was whiskey or bourbon. It was brown. Gail's sister shows up, who I had never met before. And at this point, I'm kind of excited. I'm like, okay, great. She shows up. She has her either husband or man.
It's her husband,
Jay. And they're very, very nice people. And David left, and she said, "Hey, well, I'll just have I'll have what Dave is having, if that's what I think it is, whiskey." She's like, "Oh yeah, he's drinking whiskey." So Gail pours her a rocks glass with a shot or two, Turns out Dave was sipping on Fireball on the rocks. I was like, she's like, wow, that's sweet. I was like, sweet whiskey? What's he drinking? And I smelled it. I was like, whoo! Fireball. Good for him. Tis the season, man.
that makes a lot of sense. I saw the whiskey. Believe me, I went through their booze, and I was like, oh. Yeah, they had some really good whiskey, but it would have put Dave on his ass. It was like a 94 proof whiskey. So yeah,
tis the season. He's a grown up, and he can drink what he wants to drink. All right, getting to because we do remembrances and memoirs so well here at the Middle Classholes. 85 years young, John Madden, the NFL, one of his most iconic figures, passed away yesterday. Former coach of the Raiders. Later on, did broadcast and then made probably, I would say, 15 times the amount of money that he made. Those are the two things combined with Madden, which is now the figurehead of games for football. But what do you call those? Video games.
Video games?
Yeah, that's right. What are you shaking your fucking head for? Kiss my ass. I don't play video games.
I know, but you sound like the oldest man alive. Like
there
Madden.
You know those games.
Like Madden football is like it's the pinnacle of all sports games, and it's the pinnacle of any football game, obviously.
It's NBA jams.
It's not.
I'm kidding.
Here's the thing, though.
Kidding.
With John Madden football, there are kids today that scream about, "Yo, we gotta get the new Madden," that don't even realize that John Madden was a man.
Yeah, that's right. And I am curious if they'll still continue to use his narration. But may he rest in peace. Love him or hate him. I know especially some of the people that I grew up with, or that were a little bit older than me, that were Baltimore Colts fans, that resented him because his Raiders teams were kicking their asses. But I knew him as a broadcaster, and obviously through the video games. But your thoughts on the passing of the great John Madden?
Alan, you're the youngest, so what do you remember of Madden?
I mean, yeah, like you said, I knew him as like a broadcaster. I knew him as the guy in Little Giants that stopped and gave them, sage advice before their big game. And then I played a shit ton of Madden. I was actually quite good at Madden back in the day. Back when they were just starting tournaments and shit. I used to go wipe the floor with motherfuckers. But yeah, that's my John Madden. I'll miss the his repartee with a drunken Pat Summerall. While I was, you know what I mean? Like, you miss his teleprompter work. You know, he was a wizard with a magic pen and a fucking, a Microsoft Paint on a still of a NFL play. He was a Van Gogh, and you'll miss a lot of his boom, all types of fucking just one word fucking exclamations, lots of shit like that. Yeah, he will be sorely missed.
Now, if you want to make a reception, you got to catch the ball. Like, I mean, here's the thing. John Madden was the perfect broadcaster. And I know in his time, people got annoyed by how obvious the statements he made were. But in this new era of America that we exist in, where every broadcaster of every ilk has to have a commentary on the way the world works, John Madden only had commentary on football. And it's sad as the world is with all these people dying around us. A lot of times people's memory reminds us of how things used to be when they were relevant. And when John Madden was relevant, the game of football was relevant. And that was the only thing relevant when it came to football and John Madden broadcasting it. And so no matter how obvious his calls were, he was the color guy. That's what he did. It was entertaining. It was as entertaining as the game. John Madden was the perfect broadcaster for that sport. And if it wasn't for John Madden, you wouldn't have these broadcasters making the kind of money that they make today. He worked for every single major network that there was at the time. When he retired, he was still integral in how the NFL... From what I read a story that the NFL actually consulted John Madden on how to use these new camera angles because John Madden was the first guy. He had a room. It was almost like the Matrix, you know, when Neo goes and meets the god of the Matrix.
And there was the architect.
Yeah, and all those TVs were around. So this is before the NFL Sunday Ticket. So John Madden had all these TVs put in a room, and he sat in a recliner right in the middle with a swivel, and he had every live feed broadcast go to all the TVs in there so that he could watch all the games simultaneously, which also had DirecTV come up with the NFL Sunday Ticket. And it John Madden, the way we view football is because of John Madden. This might be the best in memoriam we've ever done. Yeah. Because I don't have a bad thing to say about John Madden.
Yeah.
I think, and you had mentioned he was integral with, and kind of synonymous with Summerall. And I think the interesting thing about that is that he did color, and Summerall did play-by-play. Usually your play-by-play was the dweeb who got a fucking, a bachelor's or a master's degree in telecommunications or something, and then worked, did a few other things and never played football. Summerall was a kicker for the Giants, for those of you who don't know. So this is kind of like the first time where you got a player-player combo in doing that. And Pat Summerall was great. Voice for the ages, and then as was Madden. Madden also did lost 5 AFC championships before he got to his first Super Bowl. Ended up winning a couple of them. Amazing coach, amazing player coach. I also think you guys know about the Immaculate Reception.
Yes, Franco Harris.
Steelers. Madden, I would say, like, the thing of it is that Madden went pretty dark after, the last handful of years after he got I don't mean dark. He just went off the radar. He got done broadcasting. He went and lived his life. He went with his family, said he just wanted to be with his grandkids, and you didn't hear much from him. But up until as much as I heard from him, he claimed that was that should have been ruled an incomplete pass, because the rules were back then, if it deflected off a defensive player and an offensive player caught it, it was an incomplete pass. And he says it hit the helmet of his I can't remember who the defensive back was, but it hit his helmet. And he's still in NFL films. He's like, it should have been a goddamn incomplete pass. And the fucking Steelers stole one from us. And you get a burning passion from that. And Alan, you went off a lot of things, like you said, what you'll remember. I will also remember on Thanksgiving Day when he would Joey Chestnut it up and just grab a turducken leg and go, all right, everyone. Good night. Yeah.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the turducken. Loved it. He's licking the butter off the fucking skin. Yummy.
It was always in the fucking Silver Dome too, because it's a fucking Lions game.
Always, all the time, man. It's room temp.
Well, and I remember one of the last ones I remember him doing was I don't know. I think every Cowboy offensive player got a turkey leg, and it was hey, you see, we had to make a special turkey here. This one's got 6 legs on it. We had to. It's delicious. Oh, what do you got there? Oh, you got a cupcake.
What's that?
Got me a cupcake.
Nice.
All right. Before the end of the show, we're gonna need to eat that in one bite.
All right. Fair enough.
But yeah, Madden was. I don't want to say he was the ultimate professional, but in his own right, he was. He was exactly what he was supposed to be. And everybody who says, "Shut up, Chris Collinsworth," you're right. Chris Collinsworth, shut up.
Chris Collinsworth is terrible.
Stop. He didn't overcomplicate a complicated game. That's the point.
You know who the guy is? You know who the new guy is? It's fucking
Tony Romo. Goddamn right it is.
That's the guy, dude. Whenever I'm dude, Romo's calling the game, this is gonna be good. I'm gonna fucking learn shit.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna see shit that I've never seen before.
And you get him and Jim Nantz. I mean, Jim Nantz, the voice for fucking for eternity.
Everything.
This is how good Tony Romo is. Tony Romo has somehow given Jim Nantz a personality. Yeah. Jim Nantz just used to be the quiet fucking narration guy. Brilliant at his job. I mean, already a fucking broadcast legend. But now he's in the booth with Tony Romo, and Tony Romo is forcing a personality out of this guy. And it's something to behold.
Right.
So, rest in peace, John Madden, not only in the Hall of Fame, but he will probably have the biggest casket that's ever gone into an NFL cemetery.
They fit those balls.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to dick it up a little bit. We were too nice to the guy.
That's right. Okay, so we're gonna vet some of the celebrities who died in 2021.
Hold on. However, also a Democrat, but I'm also going to give him his due. Harry Reid, 82, also passed away. And I believe that this was a government conspiracy because Harry Reid was really pushing hard for them to release all of their secrets about extraterrestrial technology up until his death. And so, rest in peace, Senator Harry Reid.
Maybe his death is what triggered NASA to hire a priest. Maybe something's coming in that estate.
That's right.
We don't know about.
Remember, like, was it what the hell was that Spielberg movie? Not E.T., but Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where people who got abducted came walking off. Maybe Harry Reid will come fucking putzing off here soon.
His eye patch and his bruises.
Yeah. All right. I had to vet these, but give me a minute. Okay, Larry King. We paid homage to that.
We definitely we talked
okay,
about,
that's a lot.
We talked about his corpse.
Okay.
That's a loss.
Dustin,
yeah, that's a big one.
Dustin Diamond.
Not a loss.
Nah.
Cloris Leachman.
Oh, big loss.
That's a loss.
All right. Larry Flint.
It's a loss. I kind of maybe.
It's a wash in a way.
I was gonna say
it's a it's a whitewash.
All right, Rush, go ahead. Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, I'll let Alan start.
Fucking hell.
Take the high ground.
To the culture of the nation, I think it's an interesting loss, like it is, but good riddance. Fuck them.
Okay, that's fair. I will take that as an answer. Yeah. I will take that as an answer. Yes, because like Larry Flint, I think free speech it's a loss for free speech.
Yeah, he's a major fucking voice in American culture.
Right.
Correct.
I didn't know this. Jessica Walter. She was known as she was the mom in Arrested Development.
Mom on Archer.
Yeah.
And Arrested Development. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay, well she was old, but that was a loss.
That's a big loss. She was fucking hysterical.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, but now you're making me go back to Cloris Leachman. Like she's old. Like oh, by the way, John Madden. They were like, and John Madden died of unknown causes. So he's 85. He was an 85-year-old fat man. Like, what do you want?
Could have blown his rear end out. Prince Philip.
Because of our age and fat.
Yes, exactly. That's it. It's not rocket science here.
Yeah. Prince Philip, 99.
Yeah.
I mean, not a loss. I mean, it just
Sure.
We ain't English. Fuck the Royals. Whatever.
DMX.
Oh, huge loss.
Gotcha.
For the culture.
Yeah, okay.
Shock G.
Have you heard his rendition of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Sure have.
You get back to me.
Shock G from Digital Underground.
That's a loss because he was young.
That's right, 57. Great. Someone named Norman Lloyd was 106. You guys doesn't make any.
Okay,
106. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
No. See, this is where I gotta
Norman Lloyd.
Be a little more
American actor.
Ned Beatty.
I mean, yeah. Oh, man, now I'm re-examining my loss or not a loss.
Biz Markie.
A loss.
Oh, that's a loss.
Yeah. Dusty Hill from ZZ Top.
I mean, yeah, it's a loss because now there's no more ZZ Top.
Yeah. It's
true.
It's just Z Top.
Yeah. Got leg.
You know how to lump it.
Oh shit!
All right. Oh, Ron Popeil.
Oh, that's a loss.
Huge loss, dude.
He was 86, by the way.
I should have started with that one. That was more important than John Madden.
I'm going chronologically. First of all, and he was 86, all right? It wasn't like he's some spry fucking chicken.
Listen, motherfucker. He gave America the window to rotisserieing a chicken on your fucking countertop. Okay.
Yeah. So he should have lived till he's like 106.
I'm surprised he didn't come up with an invention to stave off his own death. But
to rotisserie himself.
Yes, maybe that's. I hope they buried him. I hope they buried him in a coffin.
I hope they
Millhouse in a rotisserie.
They stick the 3 prongs through him and fucking just lower him down.
Jesus.
I will baste in my own juice for eternity.
For eternity. And then,
set me, but don't forget me.
Yes, absolutely.
And when you come to the headstone, you can crank it up. Just turn me a little more.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones drummer Charlie Watts.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a big one.
Considering they're still touring, like, yeah, that's kind of a loss.
I think if Keith Richards outlives you, that may be a gut punch.
Yeah.
I don't know, because at this point, I'm fairly certain that we all agree that he's immortal. So,
yeah.
At this point, I'm expecting him to outlive all of us.
And maybe Ric Flair might go neck and neck with him, but he's a little bit younger, so we'll see. Norm Macdonald.
Big loss.
That might be the biggest loss on the list so far because he had so much more to fucking give. God, dude, that affected me more than any death this year, by far.
It's fair.
This is interesting. I don't know if you guys know Willie Garson. He was the gay guy in Sex and the City.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
He was only 57. Pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic cancer. It's unfortunately the fucking ruiner of a lot of things.
He was the gay guy that wasn't Mario Cantone.
That's right. Yeah. Getting down to November here. Let's see what we got here.
Jeez.
Dean Stockwell, from Quantum Leap.
Oh, that was the guy who came to Sam. It was like, and he would give him the updates on what was going on. Yeah, right. He hadn't done anything since Quantum Leap, so I'm going to say not a loss. A loss for my childhood.
He was 85. Burgess Gardner. No, wait a minute, that's someone different here. William Norris. So that's not Chuck, so it doesn't matter. All right, we're getting down. Vincente Fernandez.
Oh yeah, it's a singer.
That's right.
Yeah, that's for the culture. That's an L. That's an L for the Latinos.
Harvey Evans, Archbishop Desmond Tutu.
Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty big one.
Yeah. And then Jean-Marc. That's it. That's what I got.
You about to say John Leguizamo?
No, Jean-Marc Vallée, something like that. Yeah. All right, folks. That's who died this year.
That's who died.
So Norm Macdonald's you know what? Norm Macdonald tops the list. So rest in peace, Norm. Who do you got this year, though? We got a full year coming up
as a front runner who's going to pass away this year.
Yeah. Your top 3. Who's going to die this year? I'll give you mine as a starter if you would like.
I think Queen Elizabeth is probably knocking at the door.
Good, that's a good one, man.
Yeah, that's a fair.
Yeah.
I'm going with okay. Then I'll give an easy one. Betty White. She's just turned or she's just turning 100 soon. Okay. So yeah, I think this is her last year.
I mean,
Alan,
I hate to give someone. He said Betty White.
Yeah, it's getting there. I didn't want to speak it into existence, so I'm glad Murr did. I
hate to give someone that's in their like 70s or 80s.
I mean, I'm looking at stuff of like people that are really old. Like, I don't know, Chris Christopherson's really old. Fucking Willie Nelson's really old.
Yeah, Willie's well preserved. He'll be all right.
Yeah.
I mean, do you dare?
Clint Eastwood, is fucking old as dirt.
Yeah. Do you dare say something like Paul McCartney?
I mean, how old is he?
79.
He's not really there yet.
Yeah, he's still too lucid. I don't think he's not there yet.
No, he's not pickling age. That's over 80.
Okay.
Yeah. Is Jimmy Carter still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's like a fucking million.
He's still hammering that one nail he's been hitting for like 10 years.
He's like building a single house for a habitat for humanity for like a decade.
He's like the professor from Futurama.
Yeah.
My number 2 is going to be, I'm sorry guys, Morgan Freeman. I just feel like he just something. I don't know how old he is, but he looks really old.
Ooh, this is a good one, but I don't want to say it either. Mel Brooks.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Mel Brooks is 90. He's 90.
He's 95.
I just okay. Now I know that like Morgan Freeman's still working, but like he's like my 50-1 odds to not make it through. He just doesn't look very healthy. He's still got the voice. He doesn't do a lot of acting anymore. He does a lot of narration, which I think is easier for him because he can sit in his chair and just fucking do it over a microphone. But yeah, like Mel Brooks, you haven't heard from him in a long time. So I think that's a solid guess. That's the same reason I picked Betty White, is because, you know, she got to do that SNL like 5 years ago now. And she wasn't very lucid at that point. Okay. She was still on the tail end.
All right. I'll go, and I hate to say it because he's one of my favorite baseball players of all time. And if I were to give the ball to one person for one game, it would be Dodger great Sandy Koufax, who's 86. He'll be actually 87 in one day tomorrow.
Yeah, man. These are good choices. I think I might stick with like a Jimmy Carter or a Mel Brooks, and Mel Brooks is terrible. That's sad. I'm already sad about it, but yeah.
Did you know that Super Dave Osborne was Mel Brooks's brother? Do you know who Super Dave is?
Yeah, he died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, he's a lot younger than him too. But they're making a documentary about him, Super Bob Einstein, which is his real name, and it looks really fucking good. The documentary actually looks better than his career.
Why are we doing this? Why are we coming up with people who are going to die next year?
That's what you do, man.
I feel guilty.
Right? This is kind of, well, you can't feel guilty until they die.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing, God
damn it.
All right, now you got a third, Murr?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. And I always like to put like a fucking like what on the list, somebody who like isn't old and maybe shouldn't die. And that's why I'm sad to report that Adam Sandler's going to die this year.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I got one of those.
Yeah, and I'm going to go the same route. I'm going to go. He's going to join Burt Reynolds in the afterlife. It's Norman D. Golden II. He was the young boy from Cop and a Half. He's 37 years old. He's going to join Burt Reynolds.
And it'll be a tragic death on it, Wes. Untimely.
The worst.
How am I the worst?
Because you're wearing a suit. No, so my young person and our large Gen Z audience is probably going to hate me for it, but I'm going to go with Demi Lovato. She's gonna fall off that wagon.
I don't know what wagon she's riding anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
She's
very true.
If you want to
she's pangender, pansexual.
She's like pan-alien now, or something. Yeah. Pan-species.
She sings to ghosts and eats a lot of pie.
Yeah. Is she gonna have like a Amy? Was it Amy Winehouse? Is that who died?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she died.
Yeah. Let's not compare Demi Lovato to Amy Winehouse.
Sorry. All right, middle class one. Have a good one.
They're kind of both terrible. So.
All right. So, Alan, where can you find us?
On the internets. No, you can find us for your listening pleasures. You can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. As always, check us out. Watch some clips. Watch full episodes on YouTube, our YouTube channel, The Middle Classholes. We're The Middle Classholes on Facebook. And as always, on our favorite platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, we are at MDL Classholes and Middle Classholes, respectively. That last one's for TikTok.
There you go. Murr, any emails?
No, just no.
Terms of service?
Yeah, there was one terms of service. I logged in through my Mac. They were just making sure it was me. Dear Middle, because our name is Middle, last name Classholes. Dear Middle, take the next step on your... I don't know. I'm not opening it.
All right, fair enough. Well, hey, look, folks, if you get caught manufacturing, distributing, or purchasing a fake COVID vaccination card, I hope that a 2-ton fucking dumpster falls on your fucking face and you get to join these celebrities in the afterlife, whatever the hell that may be. Have a good one. Here's to you.
Get it in there.
All right, don't ruin it. Now I regret. Like, I don't want you to... Oh, that... Okay, you made it.
No, he got that.
A whole cupcake to the dome. Now, on our way out west, I'd like you to sing the national anthem.
Home on the faithful.
That's Jesus Christ.
What kind of cupcake was that?
Some sort of raspberry jam.
I was like, it looked like some kind of berry icing. It looks delicious. So you might need to save me one.
I want to, Wes, you might like it. I'm just going to save everybody else the trouble. I've been getting into more natural food products. I eat only natural peanut butter now and natural preserves. Raspberry preserves are the worst preserves that have ever been preserved. Yeah. Yeah. If you like a jelly form of mustard, I don't know how that happened. But on the way in, it's like, ooh, that's raspberry. And on the bite, it's like, that's mustard. That tastes like mustard. Why does that taste like mustard?
It's strange.
It's very strange.
I love raspberry, so I'm not going to get that.
Yeah, I like my mustards like my mustards. I like my raspberries like my raspberries. I don't like that.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. And blueberry preserves don't taste like blueberries. I can't tell you what they taste like. But
blueberries are a garbage berry. I'm sorry.
I agree with you.
Yeah, that's my least favorite berry. I'm a fucking berry guy, so just throw that out there.
You gonna listen to Barry White this week?
Yep, Barry Manilow. Just listen to indie every night before I go to bed, basically.
From the middle class souls to you and all, happy holidays. Stay safe.
Happy New Year.
Don't go licking fucking doorknobs and go.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't go diving into an Omicron party. But otherwise, yeah.
Or an Amarion party. You know?
Yeah.
Like an early 2000s R&B party. I can do it.
Enjoy.